Hey, Kayla, is now a good time to message? There's a little something I was hoping we could discuss.
Huh? Gaston? Sure, I'm free. What is it?
You're already in Washington for your business trip, right? Are you busy with work right now?
We got done with our client meeting way quicker than expected, and now we're just about to check into the hotel. I'll be writing up this week's revenue report when I get to my room, so I'll probably be occupied for a little while. What about you? Shouldn't you be at work yourself? Is something wrong?
This is bad. Apparently the company my brother Derek works for just went bankrupt.
Oh, bankrupt? Where the hell did that come from all of a sudden? So, what's going on, Gaston? How did this happen?
I know, right? He phoned me in a panic earlier on. I was so shocked, but I wanted to do anything I possibly could to help out since I'm his older brother. So I spoke with the boss and he let me dip out of work early just for today. I just got home, so I'm messaging you from the house.
What? You went out of your way to get off work early? What would that accomplish?
Well, listen to this. Here's the problem. Him and his wife were living in company-provided accommodation, and they received an eviction notice saying they had to be out as soon as possible because the company was no longer paying the rent. That's why I had to get away to help him.
Wow, I see. So his living circumstances were entirely dependent on his company? Damn, that sucks. I guess it makes sense that he'd have to move out if it was company accommodation, but damn, I had no idea.
First things first, I need to help them find somewhere else to stay until they get something longer term sorted out. Apparently his wife Lily is pregnant.
Whoa, for real?
He said they only found out the other day themselves. They planned on telling us around the 12th week when all of their tests came back, but the whole bankruptcy thing kinda threw a spanner in the works.
This is nuts. I can't believe he lost his job at a time like this. Talk about bad luck. His wife must be beside herself with worry.
Right? Anyway, I had an idea. I've decided to give my brother and his wife our house.
Huh? What did you just say? By our house, do you mean the house we live in? Don't you mean you're going to let them live with us temporarily until they find somewhere else?
No, I mean I'm literally going to give it to them. I don't know if I can make it any simpler. I mean, I'm going to hand the house over to them, like they're going to be its rightful owners, and we're going to move out.
Are you being serious right now?
Of course I'm being serious. Do I look like the kind of guy who jokes about things like this? I have to do everything I possibly can for my little brother in his time of need.
I get that Derek's in trouble, and I get that as his big brother, you want to be there to help him out, and I think that's admirable. I really do. But I don't understand how you go from that to giving our house to him and his wife. You do understand that makes us homeless, right? Where are we supposed to go? My parents aren't around anymore, which means we'll have nowhere to go, and we'll pretty much have to get to work on finding a new house from scratch. I am struggling to understand your reasoning here, Gaston. Would you help me out on this one? If we're going to go out of our way to look for a house, surely it'd make more sense to look for one for Derek and his wife rather than causing ourselves a bunch of unnecessary upheaval. I get that losing his job means he won't have any money coming in, so I'm more than happy for us to help him out with the rent if that's what it takes to get him out of this pinch.
We're going to go live with my mom and dad.
Excuse me?
Yep, don't worry, babe. I already messaged my mom and got permission for us to stay there.
Your mom and dad's house? You do realize they live 2 hours away, right?
Yeah, but my workplace is on the halfway point between here and there, which means it won't impact my commute at all. See? No problem.
But what about me? What am I supposed to do? My workplace is 10 minutes away from our house. Are you saying I have to commute 2 hours to work every day?
So what? Just quit your job and find another one near my folks' place. Jeez, quit making such a big deal out of everything, you big drama queen.
What?
This is a genius plan when you think about it. Derek and his wife don't have to go through the trouble of finding a new place, and we get to live with my mom and dad. You know, I actually amaze myself with how smart I am sometimes.
Smart? That is not the word I would have chosen. Ugh. Don't screw around like this, Gaston, because it's not funny.
Huh?
Why should I have to give up my house for your brother? Are you forgetting that it belongs to me in the first place? It's my frickin' name on the deed. It's not yours to give away.
Your house? What are you talking about? Who the heck do you think you're speaking to, woman? I'm the man of this house, and that is not the kind of tone I expect from you. How about you quit being so selfish and start putting others first for once in your life?
Selfish?
Yeah, you heard me, selfish. You're my wife, and it's your job to do as I damn well tell ya. That's the plan, and it's a damn good one.
No, it is not. It's not okay for you to just hand over my house to someone else, especially without even asking me first. I mean, come on, it doesn't matter if he's your brother or not. It's still my property we're talking about here. You can't just make decisions like that without considering how it affects me, Gaston. It's not fair, and honestly, it's kind of hurtful.
God damn it, why do you have to be so stubborn? If you resist me on this one, I'll just divorce you.
Wow, are you serious? You're really gonna bring divorce into this?
If you don't like it, quit defying me and accept that we're giving the goddamn house to my brother. I'll be done packing our stuff together by the day after tomorrow when you get back from your business trip, so make sure you hand in your resignation by then, okay? We're starting a new chapter here, babe, and I want us both to be fully committed on it.
Do not touch my things. I'll get my stuff together myself.
Fine, have it your way. I take it that means you're at least on board with the move now, then? Ha! I guess there is a brain in there somewhere.
I came back to the house from my business trip to get my things together, but I knew something wasn't right as soon as I arrived. Gaston, what the hell do you think you're playing at? What are your brother Derek and his wife doing in our house?
Duh, what did you expect? I told you we were giving them the place. I left so they could move in.
I can't believe I'm even having to ask you this, but did you already move your stuff to your mom and dad's place?
Of course, all my stuff is there already. It didn't take as much work as I expected. As for your things, I didn't touch them, just like you asked. But as of today, that house belongs to Derek and his wife, which means you need to get your things together and get out as soon as possible. If it's too much for you to do on your own, I'm happy to help.
I won't be needing you to do that, because I'm not moving in the first place.
Huh? You better be joking. You already agreed to the move.
No, I did not.
Huh?
Why should I have to move out of my own house?
Because I told you to. We're giving it to my brother and his wife in their time of need, like I already told you. Oh, and you need to make sure you leave behind all of the furniture and household appliances. Their old company accommodation came with everything included, so they didn't have anything to bring with them. So don't you dare try running off with the toaster or washing machine. I felt bad for them, so I decided to give them not only the house itself, but everything in it.
Maybe I didn't make it clear enough before.
Make what clear enough?
The fact that this is my house and you have no right to give it away?
God damn it, Kayla, are you still harping on about this crap? Quit dreaming. You're in fantasy land.
All right, let me rephrase it. It was me who inherited this house. Does that help? Do you understand now?
Huh?
The house and the land it's built on used to belong to my dad. In fact, it even goes earlier than that because it was passed down through generations until my dad's day. And when he passed away, I inherited it. If my memory serves me correctly, this house has been in my family for over 100 years.
Huh?
For God's sake, Gaston, do you still not understand? What else can I even say at this point? When my dad, who was the legal owner of the house and whose name was written on the deed, passed away, ownership was transferred to me, which means now it's mine.
Holy crap, what did you just say?
Anyway, have you even thought this through? Who's been paying fixed asset taxes on the place this whole time? It certainly wasn't you. So what makes you think you have the right to give it away to whomever you see fit? How about city planning taxes? Go on. Why don't you tell me who pays them? It's okay. I'll wait. If you still don't believe me, how about I show you the deed, or the ownership registration certificate, or my dad's last will and testament, or the inheritance tax forms? Would that help you to understand? My name is clearly written under the owner section on all of them.
Are you for real?
That's my line. I have no idea how you could make a misunderstanding of such epic proportions. You knew my parents lived in this house when they were alive, so what would make you think it belonged to you in the first place? My mom passed away back when I was in high school. As for my dad, he joined her a few years later, at which point I inherited everything, what with being their only child and all. It doesn't take a legal genius to understand there's no situation in which you could possibly inherit a house from my parents.
Oh, I see.
What's that supposed to mean? Are we finally making progress here?
To be honest, I never really gave it much thought.
Huh?
So listen, babe, you have my surname, right? What with us being married and all? Which means the surname on the door plate is also mine. The surname on the mail is mine, and the surname we use whenever we apply for things related to the house is also mine. When you look at it that way, everything points to the house belonging to me.
There's just one tiny problem with that, Gaston. Legal ownership of a house isn't decided by how things look from the outside. It's decided by law.
I didn't know that.
Jesus, Gaston. All right, I don't think there's much point in continuing this conversation any further. I just wanted to give you a heads up. I'm going to be dropping off those signed divorce papers you left on the kitchen table. I noticed you were thoughtful enough to leave them out for me, so thanks for that.
What?
I'm actually on my way to hand them in as we speak.
But why?
I'm guessing you left them behind as a threat to try and bully me into changing my mind about the house and agreeing to move with you and let your brother and his wife have the place. Unfortunately for you, I never had any intention of moving whatsoever, so I'm more than happy to divorce.
No, don't do it. Will you change your mind if I kick my brother out and come back?
If only life was so simple, huh? I hate to be the bearer of bad news. But Derek told me all about you and your mom's plan.
What? What plan? I don't know about any plan. Nope, not me. I'm totally in the dark here.
Drop the act, Gaston. You know your mom has never liked me, and she wanted to use this whole thing as an opportunity to force me into living with her so she could boss me around and use me as her own personal slave. I heard you guys also both quit your jobs in anticipation of me coming and taking over the rent payments to support you both so you could laze around the house all day.
Holy crap. Derek told you all that? What the hell does that idiot think he's doing? Hang on a sec. How does he even know?
Apparently he overheard you and your mom plotting on the phone. If you don't mind, I think I'll pass on being tricked into living with your slave-driving mother so she can bully and abuse me until she's too old to do it anymore. I also have no intention of financially supporting her or her lazy, good-for-nothing, jobless loser of a son. So if I were you, I'd probably start looking for work again soon. I've never heard of anyone quitting their job for such an absurd reason. Talk about going off someone. I wouldn't stay married to a loser like you even if you paid me to. Anyway, if you'll excuse me, I have some divorce papers to hand in.
Kayla, no!
Bye.
Kayla! What the heck's happening here? Kayla!
Oh, hi, Gaston. It's been a while. What do you want?
Why are my brother Derek and his family living in your house? I just saw him through the window and his kids out playing on the lawn. I thought you said you weren't going to give it to him. This isn't fair.
I didn't give them it. They're renting it.
Huh? Renting? What do you mean they were renting? Explain yourself now.
It was all agreed on around the time of the divorce. It was just like you said. They genuinely were struggling and needed a helping hand, so at first I decided to let them stay for free for a short while. After a few weeks, Derek found a new job, which meant he could finally start paying rent again. He found him and his wife a place with a cheap realtor that does monthly contracts, and after about a month, they moved out of my house. Not long after that, I was told by my boss that I was being transferred to another branch out of state.
Huh? You got a job transfer?
Yep. With that, I decided to put my house up on the rental market, and when I did, apparently Derek and his wife saw it online when they were looking for something longer term, so they reached out to me. Since I know and trust them, and since they're actually sane and reliable, unlike you, I decided to take it off the realtor site and rent it to them directly. I had them sign a contract, and, well, that's pretty much it. So that's what happened, and that's why they've been living there all this time.
Holy crap, are you being serious?
So tell me, Gaston, what exactly do you want? Why are you bothering me after all this time?
You see, the thing is, my mom got involved in a pretty serious accident, and it turns out she's going to be spending the rest of her life in a wheelchair. Of course, that means she needs full-time care, and, well, I just can't do it on my own. It's a really tough situation, and I feel overwhelmed trying to figure out how to manage everything. I want to be there for her because she's my mom, but it's a lot more than I can handle alone.
Wow, you mean you're messaging me after all this time to try and convince me to give things with you another shot? Because your mom's in a wheelchair?
Yup, exactly. So what do you say, baby? How about me and you give things another go? Let's rekindle the flame of our romance, Kayla.
Our romance is deader than Jeffrey Epstein, and it didn't kill itself. No way.
What the hell? Why not?
I was made abundantly aware of how much your mom dislikes me, which is why I went out of my way to avoid her as much as humanly possible. I guess that's why she felt like she had to resort to underhanded measures to trick me into living with her. Because she knew damn well I'd never agree to it otherwise. I always had my doubts about your mom, but when I found out what a selfish, domineering asshole you were, I completely lost all hope in you, too. I would have had to have been out of my mind to move in with a pair of maniacs like you. Anyway, I live ages away in a different state now. Not that I'm going to tell you which one. Remember the work transfer I told you about? Well, it looks like I won't be coming back to Michigan for a long time.
Holy mother of God. Wait a sec. Are you telling me I have to deal with my mom all by myself?
Huh? Oh, of course. How silly of me to forget. Your brother Derek and his wife disowned you, didn't they? Based on what I've heard, he was pretty furious when he heard you were trying to use him and his wife as a tool to get me to go and live with your mom. He washed his hands of the both of you, didn't he? It's nice to know not everyone in your family has a personality disorder.
You heard about that? Well, that was,
Anyway, me and you are complete strangers now, so I'd really appreciate if you never messaged me again for the rest of your life. Quit trying to drag me into your family's bullshit, okay?
Oh my God, wait! Listen, Kayla, please. I'm actually outside your house with my wheelchair-bound mom right now. I was hoping you'd be able to take us both in and care for her, starting today. Do you have any idea how much I paid on transport fees? It's not easy to move someone in a wheelchair, you know? You used to be her daughter-in-law, for God's sakes, Kayla. Have you no heart? Please, there must be something you can do for us.
But I'm not her daughter-in-law anymore, am I? If you'll excuse me, I have a Zoom meeting with a company from Sweden in a minute. Goodbye forever.
Kayla! Baby! No!
After the divorce, Gaston moved in with his mom and found another job. However, when his mom had her accident, he found it impossible to juggle work and caring for her. So he had no choice but to hand in his resignation after just a few months. Apparently, they live on food stamps and disability support now, and things aren't going great for them. They're pretty much on the breadline, and every day is a struggle. I'm guessing he remembered my house had a barrier-free support. Unfortunately for him, I'm not such a pushover that I'd forgive the jerk who tried forcing me to give away my house as part of a ploy to trick me into moving in with his psycho mom. Thankfully, he couldn't track me down since I moved out of state for my work transfer. To add insult to injury, he arrived to find his little brother Derek and his wife, both of whom had disowned him, living in the barrier-free house he so desperately wanted to get his hands on. Derek said he couldn't be happier to see his wayward older brother and deranged mother get their just desserts. Caring for an elderly disabled woman can't be easy, but if there's anyone who deserves to do it all on his own in abject misery, it's Gaston. Thanks for watching, folks. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to prove what a boss you are by liking and subscribing. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We can't wait to see you again next time.